Well, good morning, everybody. Hopefully everyone can hear my voice right now. This is Tommy Johnson from the Portland Regional Chamber of Commerce. Thank you so much for joining us this morning for our monthly Growth Basics for Business series, sponsored by Eaton Peabody. We're very fortunate this morning to have a great topic. Today's topic is going to be 5 online strategies to stand out. It's going to be a bit sort of a business one-on-one for small businesses to stand out, especially in the days of what we're experiencing right now. A couple of housekeeping things for you all to understand. Most of you are watching this on our YouTube channel. And if you do have questions that you'd like to pose to our presenter, you may enter them over on the right-hand side of your screen. Enter those questions in. We do have somebody from the chamber staff who will be accumulating those, and we'll have an opportunity to interject throughout the presentation. Presentation should last about 25 minutes or so, give or take. We will check in about halfway and to see if there are any questions that have come up during the first portion of the presentation. We'll allow for our presenter, Brendan, to answer those, and then we'll go back into the presentation. Like I said, it should take about 25 minutes or so, and at the end, we'll have a full question and answer period. With that, I would love to kick things off right now. And before we introduce our presenter, I did want to introduce Nate Levesque. Nate is with Eaton Peabody. He's a marketing manager. He's been there for about 5 or 6 years. And Nate will tell you a little bit more about Eaton Peabody.
Great. Thank you, Tommy. As Tommy mentioned, I am the marketing manager for Eaton Peabody. I want to thank everyone for joining us this morning. I want to thank the Portland Chamber and the whole team at Thryv for putting this event together. We've been sponsoring these events for the last 2 years, and it's great to see more and more people joining each time. As Tommy mentioned, Eaton Peabody is a full-service law firm offering legal services to a number of industries around the state. We have practices that focus on business law, employment issues, intellectual property, real estate, and many more. We have 5 convenient locations around the state of Maine. We started in Bangor in 1917 and have expanded to Ellsworth, Augusta, Brunswick, and Portland over the last few years. We are located at 100 Middle Street in Portland, across from the police station. If you want to learn more about Eaton Peabody, please visit our website, eatonpeabody.com, or follow us on Facebook. Thank you. Back to Tommy.
Thank you, Nate. And I should mention that Eaton Peabody has been our gracious sponsor of this series for the past couple of years. And when we're not virtual like this, Nate promises and always delivers on probably the best breakfast treats around. So if you come to these events, if only for the breakfast treats that Nate brings, you won't be disappointed. But with that, I'd love to introduce our presenter for today. Brendan Quinn is with Thryv, and he's a business advisor there. And he brings with him a lot of experience. And just a little quip I want to tell you about what we want to get conveyed today. Many small business owners can really struggle with the daily demands of running their business, especially now with everything going on. Brendan and his team have created some simple software to help business owners manage their time, communicate with clients, and get paid so that they can take control of their business and be more successful. So with that, Brendan, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tommy. And I do want to have a quick shout out to the Chamber and Eaton Peabody. Thank you guys so much for putting this on and giving me and my team the opportunity to share some of the best practices with the small businesses, just to really stand out, especially, again, like you said, during this time, everything's kind of all crazy in flux. And what we've been able to do is consolidate some of the best strategies for small businesses that are usually completely free. It's just kind of you don't know what you don't know kind of thing. So really excited to get started. There's going to be a bunch of links and things I'm going to ask you guys to do. It's all in a syllabus that you'll get after the call itself. So so don't worry about writing anything down because you'll get a direct link to everything for you guys. Alrighty. So guys, there's really 5 areas where you can do today to really stand out and separate yourself from the competition. But as you can see in the middle here, right, Google rules everything around us. It's a noun, it's a verb, it's an adjective. People use it all the time. But really, at the end of the day, it's all about your client, because Google makes all of their money from your best client by finding you. So if you want to write this down, the best term that I've came across is that if it's good for your client, it's great for Google. And if it's great for Google, it's great for you guys. So at the end of the day, with all this information that I'm going to teach you, just remember your client at the end of the day. Make it as easy as possible for them to do business with you, and they will reciprocate. So first, some quick facts about Google. Google owns over 90% of the search market share. That's against companies like Yahoo and Bing and Firefox and all that. Google owns pretty much everything around it. There's over 63,000 searches per second, which breaks down to an average of 3 to 4 searches per person per day, which is a lot of searches. So if you're not on Google, you should definitely get on there. I'll teach you how to do that. And why this is also important is because Google as a company makes over 70% of its annual revenue from its Google AdWords program, which makes up over $34 billion of its revenue, which increased 15 to 20% year over year for the past 5 years. So this isn't going to go anywhere. This is its money making. So it's kind of constantly testing around and playing with some algorithms. So by knowing the best practices of Google, it puts you a little bit ahead of the rest of your competition. And at the end of the day, Google really is a content eating machine because it's solely designed to deliver the searcher's best possible experience. So the more content, the more you feed Google, the more Google will feed you. So the first strategy really breaks down to your website. There's 6 really areas here for your website foundation. First is being able to secure your website. Second is making sure that it is mobile friendly. Third is sharing your calendar with your clients. Fourth is using social icons on your website. Fifth, using mobile speed. And sixth, offering opt-in options for your clients. I'll talk a little bit more about that. Alrighty. So first, for securing your website, guys, I'm sure you've searched some sort of company and found a website where kind of just gave you the, it didn't give you a good feeling about being on there. But if you go to a website and you see on the top left-hand corner that it says not secure or dangerous, you should exit out of that website and go on to the next one, because a couple of years back, Google and the rest of the web browsers released a security certification for the website, just as a way to protect clients' information. So, most people now use the same email or the same phone number for a lot of their online banking information, a lot of their healthcare information. So even if it's a regular, restaurant and they want to collect your information and their site isn't secure, or spa or something like that, that puts you and your email and your information at compromise. So take a look at your own website, see if it's secure. Most websites like Wix and WordPress and GoDaddy automatically secure those sites. But if your site isn't secure and you don't want to go with them, you could go with this company called Namecheap that offers free, or not free, but relatively cheap certifications of your website, just to give your client a little extra peace of mind. Second here is be mobile friendly, guys. So with being mobile friendly is so important because Google, again, Google rules everything. Over 60% of those searches are done via mobile. Everybody is always connected to their internet, and Google captures 95% of those searches. And, nobody's opening up their iPhone or Android and going to Yahoo or Bing or Firefox on their phone. Google is the default browser. So most people are using Google from the mobile side. And why being mobile friendly is so important is because 76% of people who search for a nearby business visit that business within the same day. So if you don't have any sort of online presence and you're not showing up on Google or Apple or the rest of it, you're missing out on a good chunk of business there. Again, the link is in the syllabus, but you could test your site to see how mobile friendly it is via Google right here. Gives you a free report to optimize and make it a little bit more mobile friendly and engaging. Second here is sharing your calendar. Guys, I know you don't necessarily always want to share your entire calendar with your client base, share your availability, but sharing your calendar makes it a little bit easier for clients to schedule time with you and reach out and know that they're going to have somebody to speak with and answer questions on the other line. One of the best tools that I found to do this is this app called Calendly. It's got a free version and then it's got a relatively cheap version. But why this calendar is so great is because it syncs your website, it's your email, and vice versa. It's easy for your customers and clients to use, and it gives you a bit more control of your day. You know when clients are going to be calling you, and you can do work on the other side. But just open up your calendar a little bit and make it a little bit easier for them. Now, guys, social icons are very important. We'll talk about it a little bit more on the next slide here. But social icons are so important because it gives them the opportunity to share, to like and engage with you outside of your website. People can go to your website. The website is the center of your universe online. That controls all the content and information on there. However, people can't follow or like or engage really too much with your website. So having the icons on every single page gives an opportunity for you to stay top of mind, put relevant posts out there around your topic or your industry. And then maybe when it's Christmas or Black Friday or any sort of holiday and you're running a promotion, that's where social media really comes in and, you know, offer that promotion there, and then they link it back to your website to buy from you there. Now, here, website speed. Website speed is so important because, again, it's all about the users. It's the digital equivalent of a long line. And I'm sure in New England, you were driving around maybe one day, you're looking for coffee, you know, you're looking for your Dunkin' Donuts, and then you pull up and there's a line wrapped around the entire building, and you're just like, hey, you know, I don't actually need Dunkin' Donuts that bad. I'll wait for the next coffee spot, and then maybe that place becomes your next spot. But that is really the equivalent of it, and it's so important to have just a relatively, you know, quick site, just to, again, have them improve their experience with you and make sure they don't leave your page. You could test it there. Again, it's in the syllabus at these two sites right here. Test the website speed, and it actually gives you a report on how to fix that too. Then the last things when it comes to email or website foundation is actually your opt-in options. This is important because it separates you from the need to have social media. Social media is extremely trendy. You know, first it was Facebook, then it was Instagram, then Twitter, then Pinterest, then YouTube, and it's constantly changing. And now TikTok's out there and Snapchat, and it's constantly changing and evolving. So by offering the ability to leave your email, leave the client's email, or leave their phone number, or leaving a way to engage with them outside of social media platforms is so huge, because then you become agnostic to whatever social media trend is going on, and it's always changing. So two ways I've found a really way to capture the information and communicate is either through MailChimp or Constant Contact, both great email service providers. Quickly allow you to send blast messages to all your clients that want to receive those messages from you. But they're great options for you and give you a little bit more of an advantage. All right, guys, social media 101. So 5 of the big players here: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google My Business. First off, Facebook, everybody's heard of it. Everybody's, for the most part, on it right now. It's so important, no matter what industry you're in, to have a Facebook business page, just because there's 1.6 billion daily active users. By far, it's the largest social media platform with the largest variety of demographics. It gives you so many analytics, the ability to receive reviews, but most importantly is the advertising portion of Facebook. It makes it so easy for so cheap to target your exact audience on a daily and consistent basis, to stay in front of them, just to stay top of mind, to get more people to like your page, to get more people to engage with you. You can pick your certain radius, certain age, certain likes, certain interests, and it makes it so easy for you guys. So that's why Facebook is really the #1 platform out there when it comes to social media. Second here is Instagram. Instagram is by far the fastest growing social media platform, but it's still getting a little bit of a run. It's run for its money right now with TikTok coming out. It may or may not be a good platform for you to leverage, because 90% of the demographic on Instagram is under 35. So if you're looking to target that younger demographic, looking to engage with them a little bit more on a personal level, this may be the best platform for you to use. Next here, Twitter. Twitter is essentially just a micro blogging site. You know, not the largest social media platform by a long shot, but the engagement on there is just phenomenal. There's over 500 million tweets per day, and in terms of daily active users, there's only about 160 million, which breaks down to 3 or 4 tweets per person per day. So it's super engaging to people that are on it. Now, if you have some sort of restaurant or mail-based, you know, traditional video games, sports, you know, this might be the best platform for you to go and engage, because it's so predominantly male. It's really great for organic networking and seeing the trends in your industry, because you could put out hashtags and follow those hashtags and see what's trending and engage with those people that way. Now, LinkedIn is a very, very interesting social media platform that kind of came out of nowhere. Traditionally was a B2B professional social media platform, but now it's turning into another social platform like Facebook and Instagram because of its instant sharing capabilities. Because back in the day when Facebook and Instagram and Twitter originally came out, once you like something, it automatically shared to the connectivity base to anybody you were connected to. And that's what LinkedIn is doing now. At some point that will change, but it is phenomenal for brand awareness, just because it gives you another platform to stay in front of those clients. Again, that demographic for the majority is younger, 25 to 34. So if you're looking for that younger demographic and you're looking to diversify your social portfolios, this might be the platform for you. And now, last but not least, and we'll definitely talk about this a bit more, is Google My Business. Google My Business replaced Google Plus, and I don't know if you guys remember, but Google actually created its own social platform to compete with Facebook called Google Plus, and 2 years ago now just canned it, got rid of it, and moved all its posting and social capabilities to the Google My Business page. Again, just it gives you the ability to feed Google with more content. If you feed Google, it'll feed you, helps you show up more often, and it tells Google you're a trustworthy and relevant and reliant source of information. So again, feeding Google, getting their information on the platform is so important. So guys, having Facebook, having Google My Business are so important. The Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn, that could definitely vary for you. Alrighty, we got three more slides here. Should we open it up for some questions?
Hi, Brandon. We don't have any questions quite yet, if you'd like to continue.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, guys. So aligning your searches with Google, there's 3 real key takeaways that you can be in there. 1, using your Google My Business. 2, using keywords. And 3, really just being human. First portion here is Google My Business, right? Again, it was released back in 2014 as a way for you to constantly go and engage with your clients and deliver a better experience to the searchers on there. If you don't have one, you're missing out on people just searching you on Google, and it's essentially just a free listing with Google. Go ahead and create a free Google My Business page at google.com/business, or if you go into Google, type in Google My Business and click on the top right-hand corner, Manage Now. Just gives you the ability to fill out all the information, and you should fill out everything on there, because just as a fact, you get 7 times more clicks if you have a full page rather than an incomplete one. So that will give you a little bit of a competitive advantage over there. You know, your name, your information, your address, your phone number, any pictures you have, just fill it up to the brim. Okay, guys, keywords are key. Keywords, you can think of keywords as the way that Google reads information online. And there's a lot of different keywords and key terms and stuff out there, but it really breaks down to 3 real important ones when it comes to Google. First one being title tags. Now, title tags is that blue clickable link once you search somebody, and that link pops up at the top there on Google. That's a meta tag there. And underneath it, that quick description, that's called a meta description. Now, it's important now any of those website processors that you have, whoever's hosting your website, you have the ability to actually put the title and the description on there. Otherwise, Google will just kind of scan the page for what it thinks is relevant information and put it in there for you. So by putting those relevant keywords of how you want to search up in the tag, it just helps you. It helps Google help you. The last part of the meta tag portion here is image alt text, and Google, as smart as it is, can't read any sort of images. So what you can do is actually tag the images on your website page, just to tell Google, hey, this is what this is, and that helps with Google image searches. Again, it gives Google more content to show relevant searches. So by tagging your images, it helps Google out and helps Google help you. And lastly, guys, just in terms of search, just be a human, right? Be your own client. Like, Geico really did say it the best. Can a caveman do it? Can a caveman actually find you? So if you can't, if you're doing regular basic searches and you're not searching, search your name, search your industry, see what comes up, and see who comes up on the Google page one portion right there, and see what they're doing on their sites. That's the best way to really learn, see how engaging they are if you want to learn from them. And I'm going to show you a different tool to see what terms that those particular clients are using, but make sure that is easy as possible to use. All right, guys, auditing your online presence. So there's 3 real areas here for your online presence. It's just to increase more traffic. 1 is inbound links or backlinks, 2 being near me searches, and 3, there's this tool Spyfu that I'll show you that you can really leverage to get a little bit more exposure. Now, the first portion, inbound links or backlinks, these are just links that link directly back to your website page. Essentially, the more traffic that you drive to your website, the higher ranking that you'll have on Google. Because again, Google loves content. They love people. They love websites that are getting a lot of traffic to it, because then that gives them another opportunity to advertise to those people. Some examples of backlinks are like local listings and directories. So that's, sites like Google, sites like Facebook, Instagram, yellowpages.com, Yelp. Those are types directory, general directory types. Then you go to industry specific ones like Home Advisor, depending if you're a contractor, landscapers.com. It depends on what your specific industry is, but by sharing that information on there, it just gives you a little bit more of authority online. Now, think of the partners that you do business with on a daily business. Ask to be on their website. Ask to put your link on there. Maybe write a quick blog on the partnerships on their site, and put your website on there to link back to your website. That's another way to drive more traffic to your site there. And then any sort of news releases. If there's a general news release in the area and you know somebody, you want to reach out to the local news station. I know they're always looking to do some sort of goodwill newscasting, especially now with everything going on. If you can get your website out there, that brings more clicks back to your website. That helps your ranking. Now, you can do this all very manually, but there is a tool out there called Yext. Again, there's a link to it in the syllabus. And with Yext, it puts your information, your name, address, phone number, email, across the 70 plus major directory websites, which automatically drives traffic back to your website. It's not a free service by any means, but my team and I, we do have the ability to conduct these Yext scans for you. So feel free. Our contact information will be at the bottom of the syllabus there. Feel free to reach out and ask for a scan. We'll be happy to do that scan for you. Now, the near me searches are, again, that keeps coming up because most people are searching that way, are so important. Over 46% of all those searches, over the 90% of the search market that Google owns, are for local searches. And that's because near me and close by are up more than 900% in the past 3 years. And that's just because more and more people got comfortable with using their phone, with going into Google and searching, hey, we're looking for the most convenient spot. Now, again, these near me searches are so important because 92% of the vast majority of searchers that are searching for near me or close by pick the page one of Google search. So by doing some of these best practices and getting on that page there and having a presence, that will really help. But one way to really get in front of that is to, again, register for your Google My Business page. 2, register for a Waze account, those apps that people have. And then Apple Maps. Those are the 3 big map apps that people will generally use when they're driving from place to place, when they're searching for Search Me. Again, the links are connected into there, but you could set your maps at mapsconnect.apple.com. And then that will have you actually show up on Siri voice search as well. Another way to kind of see who's who's actually showing near you without any sort of biased information that your laptop or Google or your iPad came up is open up incognito because that kind of wipes the slate clean. It doesn't have any of your digital footprint, anything you searched in the past, and search different categories that you'd like to show up for and put near me. And by going through those different categories, it shows you who's actually showing up in those relevant searches. And then again, that's another way for you to check out who really your competition is, see what they're doing, and try to mimic what they're doing, if not do a better job than what they're doing. And another way, just Google your business and see how you come up there too. All right, and this is cool. It's a little bit of a competitive advantage, but there's this company called Spyfu that what it does, it shows your competitors' keywords and their ads for search. So it just gives you all the different types of information, you know, what people are searching for, how they're searching for it, how those companies are buying different ad information, what their SEO process is like. It's fantastic, and it's a free tool. There is a paid version, so there's some blacked out information if on the free tool, but it allows you to really see what's trending. It gives you the ability to ride the wave and see, you know, again, what those competitors are doing, try to mimic those. Maybe you don't mimic it at that big of a scale, but it definitely gives you some best practices on what you really should be searching for to maximize your market share online. Alrighty, guys. So last but not least is generating customer reviews. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that you've had some bad information, a person just came on your site and left a bad review because whatever, they had a bad experience, and that happens. But the best way to combat those bad reviews is by asking for a good review. So traditionally they generally ask, but you know, people's attention spans now are 5 to 7 seconds at most, so they forget, people get distracted. So we're going to give you a way to make it so easy for you to send a link to your Google My Business review page to get more positive reviews. We'll talk on why they're so important. Google, Facebook, and Yelp being the big 3 review platforms there, and just simply asking for your reviews, that process. So reviews, you know, they're so important because on average, 7 reviews are read before trusting any sort of business. 97% of consumers use reviews for local searches. So, you know, if you're a local business and you don't have any sort of reviews there, you might lose out to the larger competition there. So having those reviews are so important. You can increase the amount of spend by a customer by 31%. You can raise your prices by 11% per 1 point increase. You can improve the level of trust with over 90% of the customers who are searching your business. So trust is everything, right? First they have to know you. First they have to find you on Google. Then they have to like you, you know, what you're doing. And then they really do have to trust you. So having that trust there is just so important. Again, those 3 big ones being Google, Facebook, and Yelp. Here's some stats on Google, just on all of them, just to put it in a little bit in perspective. 38% are more likely to visit your location if you have a positive presence. 29% are more likely to consider buying, and over half of consumers that find you on Google will click strictly based on your star rating. Facebook being the next one, 74% of consumers use Facebook for company research. 80% use it to trust a business if it's a positive review on Facebook. And then the last one being Yelp. Yelp, if you have a single star improvement, that can increase your overall annual revenue by 9%. So that's not a reason just to have a Yelp account and try to improve that, then I really don't know what is. And this is according to Yelp, but 98% of users that found the Yelp page and liked the Yelp page ended up making a purchase. So most people bounce from Google to Facebook to Yelp, Yelp, Facebook to Google. They check multiple sources. So by covering your entire online review section between these 3, that's so important, and that almost doesn't guarantee a purchase, but it really does help the level of trust with your client and to do business and repeat business. Now, the most important part is actually asking for those reviews, and it's just giving them the ability to make it easy to leave your review, right? And one thing you can do, and you can do this with Facebook and Yelp too, but for Google in particular, being the #1, you know, search engine in the world, right? You want to get that review section up as high as you possibly can. So a way to do that is Google your business online, and on the right-hand side, you'll see your Google My Business tab there. If you scroll down about halfway, you'll see Get More Reviews. You'll see the review section, so you get more reviews. Click on that button, and it will pull up a click to copy. And that brings up your unique Google My Business review generation link. And that's so important because once you send that link out to anybody, the person who clicks on that link, it goes automatically to the review section of your Google My Business page. So really in 3 clicks, they can leave you 5-star reviews by sending it over via text. Email is good. Text is better. Text is way more, 98% open rate. Think of your own email, probably 10, 20,000 different emails of spam and junk. So having the email, having the text message, especially with your 10 best customers, send it out to them. They'll click it, goes to your Google My Business page, automatically opens the review section. They hit 5 stars and they hit post. Takes 3 clicks. They don't have to Google anything. It makes it so simple for them, and it just makes it. And then at the end of the day, then you get 10 better customer reviews. So when other people are seeing you, they see their businesses, and it goes on and snowballs. Alrighty, guys. Those are 5 of some of the best strategies that my team and I have came up with. If there's any questions, we're on the line now. I'm more than happy to take those questions for you.
All right, Brendan, one question that came in was, how often should a business manage their social accounts? Is it like a weekly thing? Is it a monthly thing? Is it a daily thing?
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic question. On average, best practice is to post every day across your major platforms. Most people don't, they just don't have the capabilities or the tools or the knowledge to do that. So every other day is good. But best practice is really to post every single day across your social media platforms.
Another question that I had actually watching the webinar was, you talk about reviews. Is there a good percentage of if you have one bad review, how many good reviews do you need on your page to kind of outweigh that one? Do you have a number for that, or kind of any thoughts on that to kind of combat those bad reviews that may exist?
Yeah, well, that just completely depends on the amount of reviews that you have, right? So if you get one bad 5-star review, but then you have 11, or one bad 1-star review, and then you have 11 or 10 or 20 5-star reviews, you still never will be the perfect 5. And actually having the perfect 5-star review is a little bit of a deterrent for customers, because they feel like they did something to persuade those people to get those 5-star reviews. So actually having a 4.7 to 4.9 is really great. So it's an average of all of them. So just by having more 5-star reviews, it will ultimately average out. There's no particular number because you constantly will add to it. And on average, you should get a new review. Google likes to see every 2 weeks, just so they know you're engaging and they know you're talking with your clients. I know that didn't specifically answer your question, but did that help?
Yeah, no, that's great. Another couple questions that came in were, what's the best way to manage reviews that come in from different sites like Google, Facebook, Yelp? Do you need to actively be looking for these sites, or?
Yeah, that's the best part about those sites, right? Is that when you sign up, you register with your email, your business email. So you most often get notified via email when a review does come in. But that's where a tool like Yext does come really into play, is that because it gets you across all those platforms, it gives you the ability to see those reviews as they come into you in one spot, and then the ability to reply back to those reviews in real time. So instead of just constantly getting email notified, it gives you one location to manage your entire online presence there. But more often than not, any of those sites that you sign up for, you'll sign up for an email, you'll get email notified when somebody leaves you a review.
One more question. It speaks more to, or can you talk more about Wikipedia in a company's presence? If a company has a Wikipedia page, this particular business is a little bit more coming from a participant who's their business is a little bit more mature and starting to beginning to commercialize technology, you know, their customers are municipalities, government agencies, community leaders, like what happens or what people do regarding their Wikipedia pages for their companies? Is it different than the Yelp pages and the Google and Facebook pages, or?
Sure, that's a great question. My colleague Paul Colosimo is on the line. He's our engineer. Paul, do you have any input on that, the Wikipedia?
No, actually, I don't. That is an excellent question. I don't know. I don't know how that information submitted or gathered. I don't know if that's pulled in automatically or if there's some type of profile, but that is an excellent thing to look into for sure, which I'm writing down right now.
Yeah. And then my hypothesis, my theory on it, and Paul, maybe you could back me up on that, is that it is just more content on the internet, right? And the more, I don't know necessarily how they manage the Wikipedia page itself, but the more relevant content that you put on the Wikipedia page, Google still scans all the content on the internet. So my theory is the more information that you put out there, especially on Wikipedia, and I know there's a lot of more people using Wikipedia as a trusted source, should help your ranking when it comes to Google. But again, we'll definitely look into that. That's a fantastic question.
So you're saying that people can actually, like anybody can upload information. This is for people who may not understand or aren't as tech savvy. So anyone can essentially add information to Wikipedia. Like a company themselves can add information about themselves to Wikipedia.
Yeah, the company can add information about themselves, and I know other people can add information about the company too. But Wikipedia back in the day, anybody used to be able to add information to it. I know that they've gone through a little bit more of a vetting process to make sure it is more of a relevant and trusted source.
Going back to the couple of apps or programs you could use so that people could find your business, like the Apple Maps and Google and Waze, you said to kind of sign up for those. Do those programs like cost anything for you just to check your, like how easily people can find you or how to add that information up on there?
No, not at all. That's the best part. And I'm sure there's people that might have called some of the businesses on here asking for $300-400 to set up their Google My Business page or set up their Apple page or set up their Waze page. All those are free, right? And because Google, again, makes all of its money from the advertising perspective, so the more content, the more ability you give it to show up, it's going to love that because it gives more opportunity for people to be advertised to. So that's why those programs are all free, because they don't make their money from that side. They make their money from the advertising perspective. So from the map section, think about the apps that are just used. It's either Google Maps, Waze, or Apple Maps being the big three, and those are all free to set up. And again, there's all links in the syllabus to get you started.
Well, great. I don't think we have any new questions coming in. Do you guys, or does any members of your team want to add anything before we sign off?
I can follow up on that Wikipedia question, actually. I just took a quick look, and essentially it's not too hard to sign up. I guess where the challenge comes in is meeting what they call their Notability Guidelines, which I guess would suggest, being something noteworthy, right? So most often business pages get deleted. So it's, I guess a lot of effort goes into trying to make that thing notable, which they offer paid services, of course, is kind of where that comes into play. So I think it's relatively easy to create that account or that page, but it's most often deleted relatively quickly.
Awesome. Thanks, Paul. And guys, anybody on the call, again, that YEX scan, send them to Google My Business page, Apple Maps, all this information. Myself, Tristan, and John Foster are on the call, as well as Paul. And we're just really here to be a resource for you guys. If you need help sending all this stuff up, we're more than happy to do it for you. Just reach out. Our contact information is at the bottom of the syllabus there, and we'll get you going.
I think, Brendan, if I may jump in real quick, when we were talking about reviews and how important that is, if you have a review, good or bad, consumers want you to answer that, because if it's a good point, they want you to say thank you so that you're paying attention to your business. If it's a not so good point, there's always two sides to every story, and just say, because of whatever the issues are, we don't share that online, but there's always two sides of the story. So if you respond to even a bad review, consumers that are looking at that saying, there, again, two sides to every story. So that'll help your reviews. And I think the 1.2, if you move your star rating up 1 star from 3.5 to 4.5, that equates to 5 to 9% of overall growth revenue. So same thing if it goes down the other way. So that's why those reviews are so important.
Thanks, John. That's a really great point.
All right, Brendan, I think that's all for questions. I think we're good to go. Well, we will follow up with all the attendees with a, an email with all these great links and information that Brendan put together for you guys. And the replay will also be provided as well, so you guys can view this later or share it with your friends. But yeah, I think that's everything from us. Oh, and if you want to stay up to date on other upcoming virtual events that the Chamber's hosting, definitely check out our website, sign up for our newsletter. That's the best way to kind of sign up for those and be the first to know.
Thank you. Nice job, Brendan.
All righty, guys. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate this opportunity.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.